I had several operations on my legs as a result of that car accident. The first operation was because I was bleeding internally, nearly died from that. I had to have my left leg cut open from close to my knee to all the way up to my hip to relieve the pressure, or I would have lost the leg. I had a huge hematoma on that leg that took a long time for the blood to be reabsorbed into the leg. After that surgery, I had a surgery on my right leg, which was a skin graft to close up the scar on the left leg. I was left with a very hideous scar that was about this thick. It was a kind of a ravine. Plus, I was left with kind of a sack, almost like an empty sack on the back of my left thigh. I lived with that for about 12 years. And then a friend gave me the money to have plastic surgery to remove the scar and to fix the sack in the back, because part of it was like we didn't even know what was in there uh, in that. So a big chunk of my flesh on the left leg was taken out. So my left leg had 3 surgeries and my right leg had 1 surgery. I always had some residual pain in those legs. So part of the cleansing that I went through with the Buteyko method, I could feel stuff happening in mostly the left leg. I'd feel like little twinges, little nerve impulses and pinpricks, and I would know that there was cleansing going on in that leg. What was really interesting to me is when I really started doing some major cleansing, I would really get swollen legs uh, from my ankles all the way almost to my knee sometimes, and you could almost see it like a shelf. It would, I could feel it, this thickness in my calf. In fact, at one point, I couldn't even wear my regular shoes. The swelling was so much. But what always impressed me was that the swelling was almost twice as much in my left leg as in my right leg. And that was for a long time. And they would be swollen sometimes for months. It was always more in the left leg. And like I said, that was significant to me because there was probably a lot of toxins built up around the scar areas. I don't even know all the reasons, but I don't have as much swelling anymore. I'll still go through bouts when I may have some swelling, but not, I think, the bulk of it. Hopefully, the toxicity has been released. I was cut down the front, my abdomen. I believe that was when they were looking to find where the bleeding was. And I forget what they're called, but I had these little bumps all along the
The scar.
incisions.
Mm.
Yeah, scar, almost like a bead of pearls. They're still there, but they're smaller. So I think my body is slowly dissolving them. And so that's cleansing, more toxicity that's coming out. But now I really have very little pain in my legs. Occasionally I'll feel something, but I definitely know that there's been healing in those legs. I didn't think again that I was that toxic, but the swelling, I was told that when the body's detoxing, it tries to dilute the toxins and then it sends them as far away from the internal organs as possible. And that made sense to me. So when I see the swelling, I know, okay, I'm cleansing. And then it comes with other symptoms that are cyclical in nature. For me, they just, I don't know the exact cycle, but it's very familiar to me now when I'm going through cleansing. I might have a day where I have little diarrhea, nothing major, but bloating, lack of appetite. I don't really want to eat. Sometimes I just don't feel well, or fatigue. I can have some fatigue. So I'll have a few days where I'll have swelling and I'll be accompanied by these other symptoms. And I just know I'm going through a cleansing bout. My pauses will drop. It'll be harder to do my maximum pauses. So I've just come to just know this pattern, and it just repeats and it repeats and it repeats.
Find the time between the last repeat, and the next one gets longer and
Mhm.
longer as time goes on.
Yes, at this point, yes, the major cleanses, I don't have them quite as close to each other, and I can tell the swelling is not as much. Occasionally, I might go through more of a period, but, hopefully, we're getting towards the end of some of this toxicity.
Sure. Well, it takes what it takes.
It does, and, I have to just know that it took a lot of years to get to where I got. I didn't get sick overnight, I'm not gonna get better overnight, but I feel so much better that I think my worst day today doesn't compare to my best day before.
Mm.
No matter what I'm going through, whether I'm cleansing or not feeling that well, it's still better than before.